Hello bookworms, I'm Becca, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in February. I only read 3 books in February, but I still wanted to share them with you. The first one I read is Stay Sweet by Siobhan and Vivian. This is about a girl named Amelia who has a summer job at the local ice cream shop, and this ice cream shop has been famous for generations, and it's always been all girl employees. There's never been a male employee. But when the grandnephew of the stand's founder comes to unexpectedly take over the business, his presence kind of threatens everything that this ice cream company stands for, and Amelia has to navigate the summer and try to figure out how to protect her job and her friends and her heart. And if you go into this book believing that synopsis, you would be just like me and be completely shook, because that is not what this book is about. Like, at all. I mean, it kind of is. That's like the basis for it, but I don't even know like where to begin, because this book had me thinking that Grady would be coming in and trying to change everything about the stand and make it more modern, and that is like really not what happened. The love was meh for me. It was not great, because I had just come off of reading Autobiography, and that was one steamy romance. And so this one did not do it for me at all. I couldn't care less. The thing that intrigued me the most about this book was that you get diary excerpts from the founder of the ice cream stand in World War II, and it is really interesting. And I love anything vintage, so that appealed to me a lot, and that was my favorite part of the whole book, was reading those diary entries and learning how the stand came to be and how she made all the ice cream from scratch, and just learning about her legacy was really important. I have a lot of feelings about this book. I was going to do a review on it, but that never happened, and I also drafted an alternate ending of how I believe the book should end. So if you are interested in any of that, please let me know down below in the comments, and I will definitely do that video. Other than that, I gave Stay Sweet 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought it was super cute. It is the perfect summer book, and it's definitely going to be my new go-to read for summer, but I had a lot of feelings about it, so let me know if you want to hear more about those feelings. The next book I read was If This Were a Story by Beth Turley. This is a middle grade book about a 10-year-old girl named Hannah who's in the 5th grade, and she has not the best home life. She's the only one in her class to be getting acne. She has a lot of sad thoughts, and she goes around town leaving heads up pennies to spread good luck, which is like heart-wrenching for me. It was so heart-wrenching. That is the one word that I would use to sum up this book, is heart-wrenching. And that is me as a 27-year-old reading this book, so I just don't think that it would be as appealing to an 8 to 12-year-old, which is the target demographic for this book. But I enjoyed reading it, but it was just like very sad, and because I don't think that it fit well with the target demographic, I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars, even though I enjoyed it. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but that was my thought process in rating it. So if you're looking for a middle grade book that will make you kind of reflect about what it was like to be 10 years old, then this might be a good one. I had been eyeing it at Target for so long, and I am glad that I picked it up, but it was a little bit strange, and I didn't love it. And the last book that I read in February was On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I really enjoyed this book. It had a lot to do with like hip-hop and rap culture, which I'm not very well versed in, surprisingly enough, but I enjoyed reading about it and learning more about that. I had a hard time separating On the Come Up from The Hate U Give, which I think might be a problem for a lot of people. It's really hard to see them as 2 separate books when The Hate U Give was amazing, and On the Come Up is set in the same neighborhood, even though Bree and Star don't know each other at all. The stories are similar in a lot of ways, but they're different in a lot of ways too. I feel like The Hate U Give was very intense, and this one was a little bit more mild. I was kind of waiting for like everything to go down like it did in The Hate U Give, and that just didn't happen in this one. It was a little bit more mild, and I didn't love Bree as much as I love Star, even though Bree's story is just as important, and I think that it was a really good perspective to read from because Bree's family is in poverty, and she's trying to navigate all of that and stay true to herself, but she goes to an affluent school, just like Star goes to an affluent school, so it was really interesting and I enjoyed it. I can't wait to read more by Angie Thomas, and I ended up giving On the Come Up 4 out of 5 stars. I just realized as I was talking about On the Come Up that I read one more book this month, so I actually read 4 books, and I think that that's it. I don't know, I lose track sometimes. But I know that I read Spinning by Tillie Walden. This is a graphic novel memoir about Tillie's life growing up doing figure skating and also discovering herself and her sexuality. I adored this so much. I loved reading about all of the figure skating. I thought Tillie's story was insanely interesting, and I didn't realize how young she is. Like, she's super young. She was born in 1996. So she's a couple years younger than me, and I think that that's amazing that she put this book together. And it just kind of talks about how she fell out of love with figure skating and wanted to pursue other things, and she just really became her own person as she grew older, and I love that. I just love that. So this was really great. I gave it 5 stars. It was amazing. The art is incredible. I love graphic novels. I'm starting to love graphic novels more and more, and I'm really glad that I finally read this one. In February, I also attempted to read 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and I only got 20 pages in. I'm thinking about getting it on Audible next month maybe, and trying to do an audiobook for it, because I don't know. I don't understand it at all, and I just can't get into it, and I don't want to read it. So there's that. And I didn't end up finishing my other TBR jar pick, which was The Librarian of Auschwitz by Iturbe. I got 43 pages into it. I just put it down to read other things, probably on the come up, and I didn't pick it back up, but I am enjoying it. I'm gonna keep reading it. That's all I got to say. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I cannot wait to talk to you more, because unbeknownst to me, this book is very important to me, and a couple of reasons, so I can't wait to share more of like my story with how I connected to this book with you after I finish reading it. So stay tuned sometime this year. That's going to be happening. Alright, so those are the books I read in February and the books that I did not finish in February. So let me know if you read any of the books that I did, or like what you read, I guess, in February down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!